Welcome back. South Australian Premier Stephen Marshall is fighting to hold on to government ahead of this weekend's state election. He's spoken with Sky News reporter Joel Philp to discuss his government strategy, the internal tensions between warring Liberal Party factions and his position in Parliament on the other side.
Premier Stephen Marshall, thanks for your time. Firstly, if you lose the election, would you like to stay on in Parliament?
Yes, look, I've made it very clear that I'm very keen to continue in Parliament. I've loved my time in Parliament. I love my time in business as well. But this state is now, I think, at a pivot point, a fork in the road, if you like. I think there's great times ahead. I think we've got momentum with us, and that's why I'm keen to stay in Parliament going forward.
A lot of people might not realise that you actually came from a business background, that you weren't always in the world of politics. Can you tell us a little bit about your past?
Well, my father was a manufacturer. I took over the family business in 1997. I had a couple of hundred employees at the CFMEU, the AMW on site. I was dealing with some of the largest retailers in the country, some of the largest suppliers in the country. It was the toughest of times, but it was actually the best of times. And I learnt a lot in manufacturing, and I hope that I've been able to apply that in my first 4 years in government. We're focused on 9 key areas. Now, we're always going to be respectful to our traditional sectors of mining and agriculture, manufacturing, construction, tourism, international students, food and beverage, but we have been able to layer on top of that the fastest growing sectors like defence, space, cyber, machine learning, blockchain, agtech, hydrogen, the renewables and the creative sector. These are the areas, the fastest growing areas in the world we're now focused on in South Australia, and that's why we've been able to attract young people back to our state.
I've spoken to a lot of small business owners who say they're not going to be voting Liberal at the next election because of the actions that were taken by the government during the pandemic. That's obviously a pretty core group of voters you may have lost. How did you manage to lose that cohort?
There's no doubt that some businesses have been disadvantaged by the coronavirus here in South Australia, around the country, look, quite frankly, around the world. But we've worked hard for small businesses since becoming elected. We've wiped out all payroll tax for them. And whilst there are pockets of discontent, overall, our state is now the fastest growing economy in the country for the first time ever.